Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Great with Steve I. Today I'm going to introduce a new series on seeing Jesus in the Old Testament. Hi, I just wanted to film an introduction to this new series that I'm going to start. I first want to preface this to say that I am not a scholar. All the information that I'm going to be sharing in this series is information I've gotten from other people. I have not come up with this myself. I love this study, and so as I come across things, I write them down, and I just wanted to share them because I like it. I think this is such a cool study. So we're going to be looking at Jesus in the Old Testament in this study. Now, I was first introduced to this study back in 2017, early 2017. I was going to a church and they started a Bible study of seeing Jesus in the Old Testament, which I thought was looking at the prophecies that point to Jesus. It was not. It was looking at types and shadows, which I had never heard of. I grew up in the church and I don't think I've ever heard of types and shadows before, but I fell in love with it. I just think it's such an amazing study. It proves that right from the beginning, God knew what he was doing. He had a plan, and he put in indicators that point to Jesus so that when he came, the Jewish people and those of us who came after would know that this was not something, and this is not a contingency plan. This is not like, oh no, those stupid humans made a mistake, so now I have to come and rescue them. God knew what it was going to look like from the very beginning, and he had a plan to show his love in such an extravagant and amazing way. So we are going to, through this series, we are going to start looking at Jesus in the Old Testament. We're going to look at the types, we're going to look at the shadows, and we will look at the prophecies as well, because I just think all of that stuff is fascinating. It makes the Old Testament come alive. In my history in the church, growing up in the church, most Protestant denominations look only at the the New Testament. They very rarely go to the Old Testament. Most Christians these days have never actually read the Old Testament, and I think that we lose so much when we don't get the whole grand story and the whole grand display of it. So we are going to look at the Old Testament. It makes the Old Testament come alive. This study really does. So thank you so much for this. If this sounds like something that you want to do, that you want to explore and see, how do you see Jesus in the Old Testament, then come along. I want to say that I am not a scholar and I have not gone to Bible school, but it's just stuff that I've picked up along the way, and I just think it's so fascinating, and so because of that I want to share it. So anyway, over the next however long it takes, we're going to do it. I'm going to be posting videos on Sundays when I share them, but I don't know how often it's going to be. My goal, of course, would be to do it either every week or every other week, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to have the time to film and have it all done to do that every single time. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel so you don't miss any future videos of mine. You're so welcome here, and I'm so glad you're here. I will see you in my next video. Bye!